Ever found yourself staring at your to-do list, desperately willing motivation to appear, but instead you find yourself scrolling through your phone or tidying up your desk for the 100th time? If you've ever wondered how to stop procrastination and actually increase your motivation, today's episode is exactly what you've been searching for. We're about to dig into a powerful, science-backed method that will help you break the endless cycle of putting things off, so you can finally take action and move your life in the direction you want. If you're passionate about personal growth and actionable strategies to improve your mindset, then you're right where you belong. Make sure to subscribe to the Growth Mindset Project and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any video in our journey to self-mastery. Let's get straight to the heart of procrastination. Why do we do it? And more importantly, how do we stop it? Most people assume the answer is to just wait it out or tackle a few easier tasks, hoping that motivation will magically appear. Maybe you tidy your room or pay a few bills, but let's be honest, how often does that really work? Sometimes it just pushes us closer to a looming deadline, creating stress and anxiety before we finally scramble to finish the real task at hand. Here's where things get interesting and where addiction science comes in. Researchers have found that our tendency to procrastinate is closely tied to how our brains process dopamine, the so-called motivation molecule. When you experience a peak of dopamine, think about the rush of excitement from a new notification or accomplishing a small task. What goes up must come down. The crash, or dopamine trough, that follows is proportional to how high and how quickly that dopamine spiked. The deeper and steeper the peak, the lower you'll feel afterward. But here's the key insight. The rate at which you recover from that slump, the dopamine trough, is also proportional to how steep or painful that low is. In practical terms, if you're feeling unmotivated and just wait around or distract yourself with chores, you're actually making it harder for your brain chemistry to rebound. Instead, you remain stuck in that foggy, unmotivated state. So, how do you stop procrastination right here, right now? Counterintuitively, the answer is to deliberately do something harder or more uncomfortable than simply sitting in your procrastinating state. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about anything dangerous or harmful, not physically or emotionally damaging. Instead, you need to choose an action that feels more challenging than the task you're avoiding, but is still safe. Let's get specific. Imagine you're sitting on the couch, dreading your next big work project. Out of nowhere, you catch yourself scrolling Twitter or reorganizing your bookshelves, activities you'd usually avoid if you were motivated, but which now seem oddly appealing. This is your brain avoiding friction. The limbic system, which is all about comfort, is taking the driver's seat, and your motivational centers are asleep at the wheel. To break out, you need to raise the stakes for your body and mind. Instead of opting for comfort, you can jolt yourself out of this zombie-like state by introducing discomfort through a safe, controlled, and short activity. Cold exposure is one of the most powerful methods for this. Taking a cold shower or a quick dip in cold water is uncomfortable, sometimes intensely so. But here's what's fascinating. As your body reacts, your brain gets a natural kick of dopamine and norepinephrine, which boosts alertness and snaps you out of that unmotivated state far more quickly than waiting it out or tackling minor chores. This technique is effective because your nervous system recalibrates. You're introducing a jolt that's worse, momentarily, than the discomfort of procrastination. Suddenly, sitting back down to work, or whatever you've been putting off, doesn't seem quite so daunting. Your motivation returns more rapidly and with more intensity. At this point in the video, if you're finding this approach intriguing, hit the like button and drop a comment telling us what task you've been putting off and which technique you're going to try first. Now, let's go deeper into how your brain's limbic friction comes into play. Limbic friction can happen in one of two ways. Either you're tired and don't want to do something, so you have to dig deep to find energy, or you're anxious about a task and you have to calm yourself to take action. Procrastination, for most, lives in the first category, lack of motivation and low energy, coupled with a desire for easy, low-friction activities. Think of a time you were supposed to exercise but just couldn't get yourself up. Every low-stakes distraction seems easier than tackling your workout. The classic advice? Just start with 1 minute. And truthfully, this can work. When you make yourself do 1 minute of the hard activity, you often break the dam, and momentum carries you forward. But sometimes, even that feels like an insurmountable wall. When even micro-habits feel impossible, it's time to use a tangential, high-discomfort activity, something not related to your procrastinated task, but that's harder than sitting still. Again, cold exposure is a strong candidate. If the idea alone makes you cringe, you know you're onto something effective. The discomfort reignites your brain's motivation circuits and can reset your willingness to tackle what you've been avoiding. Let's be clear, the painful activity must never be unsafe. Don't do anything that risks harm to your body or mind. But for many people, a cold shower, a short, fast-paced run around the block, or a burst of intense activity can be the shock to the system that restarts your motivation. If you hate running, maybe sprinting for 60 seconds is your jolt. If your muscles sore at the thought of push-ups, try a rapid set to spike your alertness. The action should sting your comfort zone just enough to make your brain snap to attention. If you're still with us at the 6-minute mark, remember to like, subscribe, and share your own unique ways of overcoming procrastination down in the comments. Your insights could help others in our community conquer their inner resistance. Let's look at another real-life example. Suppose you're dreading a big work project. Maybe you have to finish a report or prepare a presentation, but the urge to procrastinate is overwhelming. You've tried starting small, breaking it into tiny chunks, or creating a detailed calendar, but nothing seems to get you going. Instead of waiting for motivation to appear, or for a looming deadline to inject panic-fueled energy, try a discomfort ritual first. You step into an ice-cold shower for 2 minutes. It's unpleasant. Maybe you gasp, maybe you want to jump out immediately, but you ride it out. Afterward, your body is alert, your mind is sharp, and the very task you feared seems more approachable. The dopamine trough has rebounded, and your brain chemistry is primed for action. You've hacked your mind with discomfort to shift gears out of procrastination. If cold isn't your thing, any safe discomfort works. You could try an all-out sprint, a round of rapid jumping jacks, holding a deep squat, or even 30 seconds of aggressive house cleaning at top speed. The trick is to inject discomfort that's short, safe, and just enough to awaken your drive. This trains your brain to recover motivation faster than waiting, faster than deadline-induced panic, and much healthier for your well-being. So next time you catch yourself paralyzed by procrastination, don't wait. Don't hope motivation will arrive. Use discomfort as your lever to jolt yourself back into action. Remember, safe discomfort is your tool for spiraling out of that motivational void. Thanks for being part of the Growth Mindset Project. If you found value here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you stay updated, and click through to our next video to keep building momentum in your journey. Until next time, keep growing, keep acting,